Picture this. It's late at night and you're scrolling through your feeds when all of a sudden you see it. That one product you've been looking for. You click on the link, add to your cart, maybe even shop around a little more before finally hitting checkout. As you're filling in your address, you realize you don't have your card anywhere. That's when you see it. That purple pay button that has all your info already saved, making checking out as easy as a simple tap of your screen.
See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/GoTouchGrass. Go to shopify.com/GoTouchGrass. That's shopify.com/GoTouchGrass.
Picture this. It's late at night and you're scrolling through your feeds when all of a sudden you see it. That one product you've been looking for. You click on the link, add to your cart, maybe even shop around a little more before finally hitting checkout. As you're filling in your address, you realize you don't have your card anywhere. That's when you see it. That purple pay button that has all your info already saved, making checking out as easy as a simple tap of your screen.
See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/GoTouchGrass. Go to shopify.com/GoTouchGrass. That's shopify.com/GoTouchGrass.
You got mail.
Hi, I'm Millie Tamaris.
And I'm Alise Morales.
And this is
Go Touch Grass.
The podcast where we log in
So you can log off.
Alise and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod, we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can literally do anything else.
Anything else. And if you like what you hear today and you want to hear more, we've got a Go Touch Grass Patreon with tons more content, weekly access to our Discord community, and our spin-off series Search History, where we go back and break down a viral discourse from the past or a current discourse that we haven't gotten to on the pod. In the case of this week, we talk about the Gen Z TikToker who posted a millennial boot camp.
Yeah, and me and Alise went through boot camp, and we had some thoughts.
We had a lot of thoughts. I would say we had more than some thoughts. We had a lot of thoughts. There was a lot to be said.
We really deconstructed. And, you know, if you're like, what is millennial boot camp? We're talking font etiquette.
Yeah.
Tagging etiquette. Dinner posting etiquette. This is, the kids have spoken.
The kids have spoken.
We're doing the internet wrong. And as a result, I will say, shout out to Sam. She has left. We had one of our patrons was so incensed by the discourse caused by that she put a 3-post rebuttal, and and she said, this is the last one. She said, this is the last comment, I swear, and I'll shut up. No, Sam,
don't shut up. I was thinking the same thing. Don't ever shut up.
Don't ever shut up. That's what our Patreon is
on
for.
Our page, on our page. No,
let me tell you, you'll never hear "shut up" from me and Alise.
No, not on our page.
Not on the world famous yappers. Okay, hell no.
Hell no. Post away.
You can also check us out on YouTube, where we have full episodes of our yapping up every week. You have moments you didn't get in the audio, so be sure to check out our website, GoTouchGrassPodcast.com for all things Grass Nation. Alise,
we have a lot to get into today.
We have so much to get into. I'm just going to do a rapid fire software update. Okay. I'm going to read a few headlines that have made it this week or that we have to cover. And then, we'll just talk about all of them together.
Yeah.
We have Clav overdosed while on stream.
Yes.
And was hospitalized for overdosing.
He's okay, though.
He's okay. I think he said he's going to take a break from streaming, which is probably not a bad idea.
He's going to go touch grass.
Someone else who's touching grass, or more like rocks or an axe or something, is Johnny Somali, the nuisance influencer that we covered a few months ago, was facing
charges in Korea for public harassment and lewd conduct. He did get sentenced to 6 months in a South Korean hard prison labor camp.
That's tough.
Sierra had a glamour Sierra from Summer House
Mhm.
had a glamour magazine cover. And the same day that the magazine cover dropped with the story that she finally tells her side, not all of it because the reunion's incoming,
Yeah.
but in that same day, West and Amanda were spotted at a Yankees game. And they did kiss on the mouth. And then he was cheering for his team, and Amanda told him to stop cheering for his team.
Okay. I don't really understand that. But I guess if we're talking about to quote our friend of the pod, Josh Laura, who talks about like American cheating and like laundering relationships that have a bad start, how they can get laundered in the press, they do have to kind of present themselves as like a happy couple now. Like if you're going to do this, if you're going to blow up this relationship, if you're going to get all this bad press, if you're going to like, you know, look like not a girl's girl and put yourself out there, like you have to try to play it off like it was because they fell in true love and blah, blah, blah. And their feelings were so intense and they had no idea. Like that's what they have to do now.
Yeah, and they're trying to desensitize the public, but you can just tell there's not a lot of passion or love there. Finally, the final software update. We've seen the comments. We have been labeled misogynistic psyops. So we have to correct the case.
We have to talk about Chappell.
We have to talk about Chappell. The security guard responsible for the instance outed himself in a way that Millie says is strange, and said he acted on his own accord, that Chappell did not tell him to approach the child and yell at her. And he did not Chappell did not instruct the security guard to yell at Jude Law's baby mama. He did that on his own accord.
Well, and then also the soccer player came out and was like, actually, it wasn't Chappell's fault too.
Sure.
I mean, I just want to make sure that we're covering all the bases.
Yeah,
also, the original poster came out and said and like apologized to Chappell and was like, it wasn't actually her. She wasn't actually involved in the incident.
I mean, again, you know, those are the details that came out. I'm not going to retract anything I will retract that she told the security guard that to do it and all that stuff. My criticisms for her still stand. I think that, you know, she has an extreme privilege as a white woman and she has not, you know, to behave in a way that, you know, other people don't have the privilege to. And also she has this reputation, all the things that, you know, I said and all that stuff. But I don't think she told the security guard to do it. Whether or not the security guard was told that she really doesn't like people to talk to her and anything and whatever, that's kind of where I stand.
I mean, people can roll back the tape. I think that when we talked about it initially, I feel like both of us were kind of like, I don't know if she told the security guard to do this. That said, I'll apologize to Chappell. Chappell, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the misogynistic psyop. And I do
not.
I mean, I guess for me, I'm like, it is interesting to me that this story and a couple other ones in our like work as internet investigators or whatever, this story and there are a couple other ones that have me thinking about how to try to determine things that are fueled by bots versus real conversation. Because they found a bunch of bots were fueling this one. And it's tough because it's like, it's not that the thing with bots is it's not that they're necessarily saying things that other people aren't saying or like making stuff up. It's just they fuel stuff and make it seem like a bigger conversation than it is, or like they find the most inflammatory statements and make those opinions seem like they're bigger than they are. And it does seem to get like targeted at young female celebrities in particular. So I've just been thinking a lot about that, how to personally try to navigate that.
And I think that's good. Like, listen, I think that's a really good practice. I'm always, if we say something, I'm like, look, here's my thing of like, I'm not doubling down on like, we believe everything on the internet, right? I think like bots are just a sad reality of like what's happening. But I think that there are other cases. I think where I have a problem is like, we got quite a few comments on different platforms calling us all kinds of things, saying that we don't stand for women because when we said maybe Chappell did, even from the beginning, I shared like this was posted, this was a fake statement that posted and got 10 million views, but we said like it does sound like the way that Chappell communicates and all that stuff. So I think that there are cases like, for example, Amber Heard and like incendiary, nasty things that damage the reputation of women that are kind of like give me more pause and give me more things. But I guess I just it's a little, and I'm just pushing back, not necessarily because I think Chappell's an evil person, or we don't have to examine the relationship that the internet has to how they deal with women. I guess for me it's more just like this. I guess I have more credence or space or compassion for people who are victims of deepfake or people who are denying domestic violence claims or something like that. Not someone who has a documented run in with being not so, you know, being not so kind to the press and all this stuff and having this reputation of her own, and then having bots kind of, again, like you said, fuel and fan that. Whether or not, I think that is just something for me that I'm just like, there are kind of worse crimes, worse offenders. Ultimately, she didn't lose out on anything. No one's like whatever. It's just like she's kind of getting pushback on this thing that people have been, she's had a relationship with fame that I feel like comes from a very privileged, very, weird place that I whatever for. And yeah, I don't know. But and I'm just like, I don't love that I got bullied, that I got bullied and got shit over. Like, I can't believe that, we're misogynistic psyops for saying like, this part of being famous is that sometimes a kid's gonna smile at you. You know what I mean? And like, I'm kind of annoyed that I even have to, we can cut
Yeah,
this
but
or
I guess
whatever.
the thing that like for me that I'm like, yeah, I'll apologize to Chappell or whatever is that like she didn't actually do that.
She didn't.
So, I mean, I do still think it is interesting to try to triangulate her relationship with fame. Sometimes I think I don't know, sometimes I think she gets like lost in her own sauce, though I do think that also, and we said it in our episode before, she has correct points about like people overstepping boundaries with famous people and like how they should be treated. And like, I don't think that she's wrong to be like, don't scream at me on the red carpet. You can just like talk to me, or like, don't come up to me and touch me. I think all of those things are correct. And in terms of the bots thing, I just think that it's like, it is something to be aware of when we're like trying to determine what people are talking about online, and saying that like a lot of conversations are being like artificially fueled by fake accounts, and you have to try to like triangulate which ones are right and what conversations are correct and what are not. And it does seem to be deployed at like young female celebrities more than anyone. Even like Blake Lively stuff was a lot of bots. There's stuff that Taylor Swift, like there was like a whole Rolling Stones article about like how some of the like, not like criticisms of life of a showgirl, but like some of the more crazy discourses that came around that time. Like she had a lightning necklace that she was selling in her store, and people were like, it's actually a Nazi necklace. That was like basically all bots.
Yeah, but I guess where I get uncomfortable is that like, it's like the conversations that are centered, I think bots are a part of being any online discourse, and I will concede and I understand, but I'm just like, it's these I guess where I get concerned is like, I just don't want any criticism. It's like any criticism against Blake Lively, Chappell, Roan, and Taylor Swift is just bots, and all of it is fake, and we shouldn't believe anything, and this and that. Which I don't know. I don't think that's what you're
No,
saying.
I don't think
I don't
that's
even think
it.
that's what. I don't think that's what you're saying. But that's where I'm like, where my hesitancy or my pushback is like, know that there's some like actual legitimate things, and like whether bots are there to like inflame already real takes, like that's kind of the tricky
That's
thing.
what's tricky about it, is that it's like they
It's
take real
they
opinions.
take real opinions,
Right.
and also real details. Like,
right.
I can have more credence if it was like Chappell Roan yelled out a thing and she wasn't even in Brazil. She wasn't even this, which does happen. And that will be like, yo, this is wrong. This is fucked up. But like, that's where I get like that's where my discomfort or my kind of hesitancy around that. But I'm glad like we can chat about it, because it's like, yeah, these are all like these figures who, you know, extremely privileged white women who, when they get any kind of criticism or when there's any kind of tide turning, then immediately there's not even space for the criticism to live, because it's just immediately shut down with everything is bots. How dare you even give credence to what the bots are saying? And it's just like, can we just like,
yeah, I guess my experience of it is like, I feel like the bots do have success in seeding real conversations. Like, I feel like people don't realize stuff is bots more than they realize that it is. But we'll have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and also like the thing is, the bots are there. The bots are more there to like sow political discord and influence election. Like, we know they're there. They have been there and stuff. You know what I mean? And they're a real fucking problem. But yeah, I'm just like, girl, the time to talk about bots when like there's been numerous lawsuits about how bots have like marginalized and disenfranchised millions of black voters in this country by telling them wrong voter information, by Facebook targeting that Facebook has like in lawsuits and all this shit for. And then like the one time where like, you know, to me it feels like, well, Chappell Roan has bots, and it's like, okay, girl, like,
yeah, I guess to me, I feel more like, I mean, obviously it's bad to use bots to do those things. It's worse, but I do think that it's interesting that like these bot farms have found it is fruitful to them to particularly like inflame discourse aimed at like female celebrities. Like, it's not like the Timothy Chalamet opera ballet thing. They're like, oh, that ended up all being bots. No, it's always like a female pop star, female celebrity, even like an unsavory one, maybe that like you personally wouldn't like, but even still, like that's how it happened with Amber Heard.
yeah,
people didn't like her, and then it's like there are things that are true and not true, but bots like flame it all up. So I just think it's interesting to look at and to keep aware of.
Yeah, and that's something that we're gonna look at too. And again, like, I think that is something that I think the reality is that in the 90s and in the 80s and in the 70s and in the 2000s even, the mantra was sex sells.
Yeah.
And I think right now in the 2020s, it's rage sells.
100%.
So
true.
I think there's entire infrastructures and monetization in every single form. And it's not just about female pop stars. It's the fact that like Bonnie Blue fucks 1,000 guys in a day. And like these men are so disgusted, but all her videos get like, you know, she's a
like
rage bait. So it's like,
yeah, it's like sexual rage bait, which is its whole other thing.
But it's like that is like the infrastructure we are dealing with now. And it's good that like, one, we have conversations and we're aware too, and like two, like that is something that we have to be cognizant of when conversations happen online. How much is it? And you know,
yeah, that's the
like
main thing for me is that I'm just like, how do I for myself triangulate where I'm like, okay, but this is a legitimate conversation that might be being fueled by bots, but like real points are being made, and also like, okay, this is actually like a crazy weird bot attack on someone, you know, like, or like where's the middle ground or what's in between? It's hard to say sometimes.
Yes. Okay. And like this is where I'm like, I'm gonna land, or I guess the bot thing with me that was you know, like, was that the bots didn't make up a fake Kristen Hardy video for 6 minutes. Bots didn't make up the Lollapalooza, you know what I mean? Like the main thing. So bots inflamed the conversation, which I think, yeah, like, and it does target young women disproportionately.
Yeah.
And
I just think it's interesting that it's exactly. Like, oh, one of the most fruitful forms of rage bait is to do this. Clearly people make money off of it. That's what you were just saying. Like, it's like the rage sells. So it's like, okay, rage against like this particular type of person seems to sell quite well. I think that's interesting.
I think it's interesting too, and I think there are entire like genres of TikTok sketches and all this shit that is like undisclosed ads, and it's all like I'm gonna catch my partner cheating, and like or like I catch my partner cheating, and it's like she shuts up and confronts the thing, and then the whole thing is a fake. It's an ad for an app that catches cheaters, but the real
An app that catches cheaters.
Yes, it's like, oh, I found my husband's Tinder profile. I'm gonna confront him, but of course, of course, a video on TikTok where it's like I confront my husband for having a Tinder account is gonna get views, but they don't put hashtag ad. So like that's the shit. So again, this is all about. That's our fucking software update.
These are the intellectual questions that we have to think about as we continue as internet investigators.
And now we're dissecting how the internet uses rage bait to fuel misogyny and rumors and gossip and monetizes it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And talk about monetizing female rage and misogyny.
Wow.
Let's get to our main fucking topic.
And what
Alise.
a topic it is.
And what a topic. Alise, today we are going to get down into Alex Cooper versus Alix Earle.
The battle of the Alixes.
The battle, okay. So Alex Cooper is ALEX and Alix Earle is ALIX.
Yes.
So I feel like, would you say it's Alex and Alix?
Maybe technically.
Alex.
The Alixes, Earle and Cooper.
Earle and Cooper. I mean, I will say, like, before we get into the story, usually my beat is Cardi B.
Yeah. The Cardi beat?
I'm on the Cardi beat, the City Girls drama, what Disney characters twerking when, who's fighting, divorce court, all that shit. Like, that's kind of whatever, right?
Yeah. Whereas I'm like, what Disney character is being wronged in the parks?
What fandom like is like what fanfic is gayest or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I do have an eye on the discourse around Rocky Horror on Broadway right now. Don't you worry.
See, I don't even know what the discourse could possibly be.
I have an eye on the discourse. We'll get into it another time.
But this is all to say that I am a fat Dominican woman who lives in Brooklyn, okay? I'm doing my goddamn best. I'm reporting on two white girls who combined probably weigh as much as I do, frankly speaking. So I'm just going to say it like my bias might come out because like, first of all, I'm a yapper. So by being a yapper, I'm predisposed to be lean toward Cooper. But we'll get into it.
Yeah,
we'll get into it. But I'm just saying, guys, one, this is out of my realm, and two, I'm showing bias. But out of my realm in that the people centered this story make media for a 20-year-old sorority girl. Like, if you're a 20-year-old sorority girl, this is fucking like Armageddon. This is huge for you. But I am not a 20-year-old, so I did not do Alabama Tide. What is it? Roll Tide?
Roll Tide. Yeah,
Roll
that's
Tide.
Bama Rush.
Bama Rush. See, I'm not on Bama Rush, so this isn't,
Have you ever listened to an episode of Call Her Daddy?
I have.
I listened to Kamala.
Well, guess what? Kamala's at the center of this feud. Let me just get into it, Alise.
Okay, let's get into it.
Let me just get into it. So first we have Alex Cooper. Alex Cooper is a 31-year-old internet personality, best known as the host of Call Her Daddy podcast, which has featured guests from Kim Kardashian, our homegirl Chappell Roan, Hailey Bieber, Millie Bobby Brown, not Millie.
The other Millie.
The other Millie. The Millie who spells her name like a diner worker. I mean, there's nothing wrong with working in a diner, but that's my only thing. If someone's like, is your last name Tamara's or Tamara's? And I'm like, I don't care. Just spell my name with a Y. They also had Blackpink's Rose, Sarah J. Maas, and Michelle Obama has been on Call Her Daddy. You might have also recently seen Cooper on the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special, where she conducted an interview with Miley Cyrus.
Mm-hmm.
In 2021, Time magazine called Alix Cooper arguably the most successful woman in podcasting.
The argument is that otherwise it would be us. Some people say it's us, and some people arguably say that it's Alix Cooper.
Well, our bank accounts say it's Alix Cooper because she signed a 3-year exclusive deal with Spotify worth $60 million. She was making $20 million a year. And let me tell you something about Millie and Alise. We ain't making $20 million a year. We ain't making $1 million a year.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite. Sign up for the Patreon. Everybody, sign up for the Patreon.
That's why, guys, comment away on the Patreon. Let you fucking
please.
Rock.
As long as you're on there.
So again, she was the highest earning female podcaster and second highest paid podcaster, behind only Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
The show, her podcast has 4.4 million followers on Spotify. Go touch grass. We're getting there. We're getting more
every day.
We're getting more.
We're getting more every day.
Leave a fucking review.
Alix Cooper, at a certain point you'll plateau. You can't get any at a certain point everyone's listened to your podcast. We're on our way to 4.4 million.
Yeah,
we're still growing.
Spotify data shows that guest appearances on Cooper's podcast lead to dramatic spikes in musician streaming numbers. So when Anita went on Call Her Daddy, her streams rose 155%. Madison Beers climbed 130%. John Legend, after he appeared on Call Her Daddy, his streaming went 200%.
Oh.
200% times as many streams. And John Mayer,
Jesus,
350%, Alise, 350%. After John Mayer, these 20-year-old Bama Rush students heard John Mayer talk for an hour and said, "I must stream Your Body Is a Wonderland." I mean, I bet you he has Riz.
Yeah, I mean, John Mayer is a very disturbing and dark psychological profile, I think, and I would not want him to be near Alix Cooper or Alix Earle, any of them. I find him to be disgusting.
Yeah, well,
between the way he treated Taylor and the way he treated Jessica Simpson, I can't with John Mayer.
Oh, well, I think he's disgusting because he says he has a KKK penis.
Yeah, so that's part of it as well.
His penis is a white supremacist.
Yeah, so that's part of it as well, is that he said his penis is racist. So that's tough. And then also he dated 19-year-old Taylor Swift when he was 32 or something and was really mean to her. And it's why are you going to date a teenager and be mean to her? And then he was also really mean to Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, John Mayer, canceled.
Done.
We're canceled.
I'm done with John Mayer on this podcast.
And I'm not apologizing to that, okay? Yeah. And I'll put the fucking bots on that.
Yeah, exactly. Bots pick this up. John Mayer's fucking gross.
Okay, let's go to, who is Alix Earle? Alix Ashley Earle, born December 16th, 2000.
All right.
She's an American social media personality, rose to popularity posting Get Ready With Me videos on TikTok, where she shares details of her personal life. She's been known by online communities for causing products she endorses to quickly sell out, which has been dubbed by users the Alix Earle effect. Alix Earle has 8.5 million followers on TikTok and 5.6 million followers on Instagram. She went to UM, which remember we talked about a few months ago about how UM is the influencer school.
Yep.
She was kind of the big influencer at UM while she got big influencing while she was at UM. And I guess her Get Ready With Me, I will say that the way that she did it was very parasocial. She's talking, it's she's talking to a friend, but the friend's the camera, and she's sitting and getting ready, but she's talking like very candidly about like my friend did this or I had sex with this guy, this and that.
Yeah, my understanding was always that she was kind of one of the original TikTok influencers of this kind. Like now
Yeah.
it seems like what she's doing is like this is the style, but it's almost like she created doing
Get ready
that,
with
or
me.
at least like
Yeah.
was on the very early frontier and popularized and honed in on a particular style of get ready with me disclosure video.
And it's like, again, it's like vlogging meets makeup tutorial.
Yeah.
Because again, like you would on YouTube, you would either see a makeup tutorial or you would either see, I mean, or be like, I don't even know if story time was popular, like when she was, you know, doing the get readies with me. And another thing too is like she would kind of tell her business, but also she has like she suffers with acne. She struggles with acne, and she's always very candid about it. She would very much show how much acne she had, what she was doing with it, all that stuff, and like that also caused the parasocial relationship because
and that's a
people
big deal now because she's trying to sell like skincare products, but people are like, you took Accutane. So there's a lot of discourse around like if it's ethical for someone who took Accutane to sell a skincare product and make it seem like it has any bearing on their skin when actually like you took Accutane.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Last year she was the runner-up of Dancing with the Stars.
Oh.
She was second place
Oh.
to Robert Irwin, but she made it pretty far. And again, like the fact that an influencer is on Dancing with the Stars and made it, because a lot of it is like viewer voted and all this shit. And again, other people on the Dancing with the Stars season is like she made
Whitney
it farther
Levitt, yeah.
than Whitney Levitt, and Whitney Levitt is now Roxy in Chicago.
She certainly is.
And they broke fucking ticket sale records with
certainly
Whitney
did.
Levitt because everyone was so excited to see Whitney from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on. So I just like, this is the scale. In 2026, Earle announced that she's working on a Netflix TV reality show about her family set to debut, which is, so she's going to launch a Netflix show, and she also launched a new YouTube interview series called Get Ready With Me.
Or Get Real With Me.
Or Get Real With Me. Get Real With Me, sorry. Get Real With Me, and it has Jake Shane, Stasha Schroeder, and Simone. Fun fact about Alix Earle is that her dad is TJ Earle. And in July 2008, the New York Post reported that Earle's father was having an affair with Ashley Alexander Dupree, an escort known for her involvement in the Elliot Spitzer prostitution scandal that resulted in Spitzer resigning as governor of New York.
Mm-hmm.
Earle's parents divorced in 2013, and her father married Dupree in October of that year. Earle has a younger sister, Ashton Earle, and 3 half-siblings from her father's second marriage. So
that is a fact that I've heard before, but I always forget it. And then when I hear it again, I'm like, oh yeah, Alix Earle's stepmom is Ashley Dupree.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
From the Elliot Spitzer scandal. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And then in my head, I thought the Elliot Spitzer scandal was the same as the Charles Kushner scandal, but that's a whole other different.
No, that's a whole
scandal.
other different thing. Elliot Spitzer was like
a governor,
the governor. That was a whole thing. I was watching a lot of The Daily Show at that time, so I was locked in on the Elliot Spitzer of it all, which is also different than the Anthony Weiner scandal, which has a similar vibe, but is also different.
And you know what? Like, I'll say this. Elliot Spitzer, I mean, you know, I was just reading some of these things and he had to like resign and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. He paid for it and all these people were of age. Like,
I mean, the standard is so low now. It's like, oh, he didn't fly to a pedophile island.
He didn't fly to a pedophile.
He paid an adult. What do I care?
Oh, this girl was 23? Jesus Christ. Like, God, this was such a... Can you imagine?
I mean, that is a sign of the times.
It's a sign of the times. I'm like, well, I want to see... And I looked at the Wikipedia. I'm like, man, this ain't even bad. Now people are getting gold bars sewn into their coats and, like... fucking punching 13-year-olds in the face. Hashtag Donald Trump. Anyway, so that's Alix Earle. That's Alex Cooper. Alise, any major thoughts between the two before I get into this crazy timeline of events?
Alix Earle, I know less about than Alex Cooper, though I do obviously know who Alix Earle is, and like I could point her out in a lineup. I'm like aware of her, but I've never engaged with her content, so I've never really like I don't know much about her. Alex Cooper, I did listen to the Kamala Call Her Daddy. She's kind of, I mean, we're in the podcasting industry, like she's a ubiquitous force. And then I did watch that documentary that they did, the Hulu documentary. Yeah. It was interesting.
It was good.
It was interesting.
Because she signed an overall deal, like she has an overall Hulu deal with,
I think so, or something, but it was interesting to see how she built this whole thing. And is it my personal style of content that I want? Not necessarily, etc. But I mean, it's no joke that she became like the second biggest podcaster out there. She's under Joe Rogan, and like it kind of goes into the stuff with her partner. There's like obviously that's a whole other like drama.
That's a whole other podcast. Her and Sophia Franklin, they started the podcast together at they started Call Her Daddy at Barstool together, and then they had like a breakup, and then
it's over. And the documentary goes into it, which is also fascinating, but they come to a head over whether or not to stay at Barstool and keep the name Call Her Daddy or leave and create something new, but they would not have the IP of Call Her Daddy. And Alex Cooper said, I want to stay and keep the IP. And Sophia Franklin said, no, I don't want to do that. They split up. Alex Cooper keeps the IP and like, I mean,
blows it up to something.
She certainly, that has been a financially fruitful decision that she made for herself. Whether you feel like she was a bad friend to do it, that's a whole, that's another podcast. But like, Alex Cooper certainly made a lot of money on the choice to stay and keep the name.
Well, also, just two other things. Like, we still don't know like all the details of Sophia's side. And also, I thank God you're my fucking partner on this.
I know.
Every decision we've had, we've been so aligned.
I
know.
Also,
we kind of have the same things because I'm like, yeah, Jesus
I know.
Christ.
Well, watching it, that's another part that's interesting was I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy and like whatever. But then, yeah, it's just wild to see someone build something like you like feel how you will about her, the podcast, whatever, but you have to have like some respect for it too to see someone like come up that much. And it's not like she wasn't underprivileged in any way, but she's not like Nepo or something. Like she did it herself.
No, yeah, she did it herself. And you know, in a lot of shit too. I mean, whatever. Okay, so she signs a 3-year deal with Spotify, $20 million. Then, like, before we get into the timeline of it, I'm like trying to think of, okay, so first she signs a 3-year deal with Spotify that ends in 2024, right?
Okay.
August 2023, Alix Earle and Alex Cooper post a collab post on the Unwell Network. So the Unwell Network is basically what Alex Cooper did was she kept the IP to Call Her Daddy. Call Her Daddy blew up, and then she used that like kind of building momentum to secure the Spotify deal, which was $60 million for 3 years. And then what she used that Spotify deal to leverage was a $125 million deal with SiriusXM for 3 years. But the $125 million deal is for the Unwell Network. So with a slate of podcasts produced by Alex Cooper, I guess in hopes that each podcast will deliver those, you know, not just one of these incredible podcasts, but like 8 of them or something. August 2023, Cooper and Earle post a collaboration post with Earle featuring an image of the two social media stars in celebration mode with the caption, quote, "Two blondes walk into a boardroom at Alix Earle, handshake emoji, at Alex Cooper. The world is not ready." That was the caption. And that was the announcement that Cooper had officially signed on Earle to develop a variety of multi-platform concepts and projects. In September 2023, Unwell Network partners with Spotify's enterprise platform, Megaphone, for the hosting and distribution of popular podcasts and they signed Alix Earle and Madeline Argy.
Okay.
And Alix Earle's podcast was called Hot Mess with Alix Earle.
Yes.
And the other podcast was Pretty Lonesome with Madeline Argy. And the rumors that I saw was that the deal that Earle signed was a 1-year contract for $1.2 million.
Okay.
To do this.
Not bad.
Right?
We would take that. If anyone's looking to
If anyone
do a 1-year contract for 1.2 mil, Go Touch Grass is listening. I mean, that's your starting offer. So obviously, like, we're gonna negotiate with you, but like, we're listening.
We're listening. August 2024 is when the $125 million deal is signed and SiriusXM replaces Spotify. So then, in October 2024, just as Go Touch Grass predicted, back when we were talking about the fucking 2024 election, and Alise correctly predicted that Kamala would appear on Call Her Daddy.
I felt it in my bones. I felt it in my bones.
So this is, again, a big part of the conflict, allegedly, was this interview. Now, Alix Earle's dad is a huge MAGA guy. And also, Alix Earle has some pretty serious
MAGA allegations.
She has MAGA allegations, but she hasn't come out on either side. But apparently, the Kamala interview really pissed off her dad. And her dad, TJ Earle, is described as a dadager, like Kris Jenner. So apparently, the dadager was furious with Cooper for having Kamala on because he did not want Alix Earle's brand to be associated with Democrats or the Democratic Party or anything like that. TJ Earle told Cooper that if they don't publicly invite Trump, then Earle is walking, right? And Earle was part of this $125 million SiriusXM deal. And then again, this happened like 2 months into like the deal being officially signed, you know, because those deals take like a year. So they go back and forth, but finally Cooper conceded and publicly asked Trump to join and got fucking roasted for it. And apparently this really pissed off Cooper. Also at the same time, Alix Earle's profile is growing, and now she's getting about $300,000 or $350,000 for one post.
Ooh,
I know. She's getting $350,000 for one post. So that $1.2 million for for the year contract is now not looking so hot. So right now I'm gonna show a video clip, and it is from actually somebody we did a Patreon on, Be Better.
Oh, it's Be Better. Be Better is back.
Be Better is back, and he's being a sloppy, messy little bitch, which we love. And
Be Better really got into some shit. We honestly should do a big update on Be Better because things have gotten crazy with Be Better.
But then now his name is called Marcos O'Bits, or I guess Marcos Bits.
Well,
that's what it is.
He had to rebrand. He's a marketing expert. That was his whole thing.
So now let's hear what he says, according to his source, happened post the Kamala interview.
TJ, who really is the Kris Jenner of Alix Earle, like he's a dadager, if that's a word, I just made that up. He demanded that Alix Earle be let out of the contract because she was underpaid at this point in time. From when she was signed to now, she is, getting paid $350,000 a post. For her, it's not worth it to only be paid $1 million a year anymore. And then Matt Kaplan actually said,
oh, also Alex Cooper married Matt Kaplan, and Matt Kaplan is like a big time producer, really good at making deals, really good at negotiating, and he's like a producer behind Exo Kitty and like I think the two other girls, like he's a big time guy.
And then Matt Kaplan actually said, no, there's 6 months or whatever was left of the contract. She's going to see it through. We are not releasing her. And TJ blew up, and it was allegedly borderline like an actual physical altercation. So this altercation obviously ruined what was left of this extremely toxic relationship. And by this time, Alix Earle was obviously aware that her contract with Unwell was not going to be renewed. Not that I think she would even want to renew it if it was up to her.
All right.
Fascinating.
So that video is 8 minutes long. and it goes through the arc of this. But what's super interesting is that one of the first comments, or the biggest comment, is from her sister Ashton Earle. And Ashton Earle says these sources are so wrong. So Alix Earle's camp is pushing back against that narrative, but this is what the narrative is. Also, even though Alix Earle is really popular, can move product, can move stuff, her podcast wasn't hitting. The listeners were really declining, and also, which we fucking know, making a podcast is really hard.
Yeah.
And if you can get $350,000 for posting one post, you know, and you get basically the same amount of money that you get for making 3 posts in 1 year to do a podcast, like, I mean, I get it. That's not, but like, that was your price when you signed the contract.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but it's also like, yeah, of course, posting one post is easier than fucking doing a podcast. And also, just because you have the personality to talk shit about your friends when you're doing your makeup does not mean you have the personality or the skills to talk for a fucking hour about whatever the fuck.
That's just, I feel like, such a common issue these days, is like, people just think that like being a personality online is enough to do all sorts of jobs that you cannot necessarily do. Like, being able to make these engaging get ready with me videos, that's a skill that she has. That's not necessarily the same as sitting down and doing a funny and good interview with someone that's engaging and interesting and new and fresh for over an hour every week. It's like, yeah, it's completely different stuff.
And even just the act of like having to record every episode, having to sit in the same studio and record the same episode, even if they don't do it every week, even if they batch it, it's still a lot of work no matter how you slice it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure to them, they're like, well, this is bullshit. We can make more. But, you know, the thing is, you fucking signed it. So anyway, in February 2025, right, it's reported that Alix Earle departed, but it's also like she was dropped, or like that contract was ending. So, but no one kind of knew that there was tension until February 2025, when fans noticed that Alix Earle did not attend the official Unwell Super Bowl party in New Orleans, despite being in town and technically being a part of the network. So everyone's like, why isn't she there? What's going on? Is there drama? Is there drama? And then Variety had reported at the end of February, Variety reported that Unwell had dropped Hot Mess.
Okay.
The report cited unnamed sources saying Unwell Network had renounced all rights to the podcast so Earle can freely explore future opportunities. Which I also think, you know, for all the shit you have to say about Alex Cooper, it is nice that, like, the major sticking point for her and Sophia Franklin's, like, breakup and the major tension was that Barstool, which is Dave Portnoy, was like, if you want to keep your IP, you have to work with me for another year. Yeah. Which I also understand. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near fucking Dave Portnoy. Put a pin in that.
I mean, yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other fucking conversation. But Cooper is like, you can, you know, just because this didn't work out doesn't mean you can't keep your IP. Earle briefly addressed the chatter about being dropped in a TikTok video where she said, I also have no idea what's going on. So she's like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. So then, but we have to say, so keep in mind, all of this is going around. In March 2025, fitness brand Gymshark settles $1 million court claim from Alix Earle, because basically what happens is Alix Earle had signed a deal with Gymshark to do they were going to pay her $1 million for 3 TikTok posts and 4 Instagram posts, and also do a photo shoot with their clothes and an event appearance, right? Then Alix Earle posted a lot of pro-Israel shit. So she posted pro-Israel stuff.
Okay.
So Gymshark was like, we don't want to keep this contract.
Okay.
And Alix Earle sued Gymshark and is like, no, fuck you. Like, you need to pay me this money. I'll read a segment from the Telegraph article published in May 2025. So Gymshark is understood to deny it signed a contract with Miss Earle. So they're saying that like they didn't sign a contract. But lawyers for Miss Earle said they had also seen a letter from Gymshark dated January 2024 in which it claimed Miss Earle had breached an agreement between the two parties. So I basically, Gymshark is like, by you posting this pro-Israel stuff in the middle of all the stuff that's going on with Gaza, you're breaching our contract. So we're no longer going to do this thing. So what happens is Gymshark was accused of only ending its deal with Earle in late 2023 after she drew criticism for her, quote, perceived stance on the Israel-Palestine conflict in the wake of Hamas's October 7 attacks. She had previously posted on Instagram that, quote, now and always we stand with the people of Israel. It was alleged that Gymshark executives complained about, quote, negative responses to their collaboration with Miss Earle. One comment said, quote, why do you have a Zionist in your ad? Answer quickly. Another comment, liked by more than 300 people, read, quote, not the Zionist when you have Palestinian women as part of your brand. In her claim, Earle said Gymshark's complaints were not accepted as valid, given her TikTok and Instagram posts were available before. Basically, Earle was like, you knew I was pro-Israel before we signed the contract, so you should have never broke the contract.
Yeah, or like you knew this about me and made a contract with me anyway.
In this instance, I'm like, I guess like Alix Earle's fighting for this money in this contract that she whatever, and she's like, that's not fair that I was dropped for my political views, but also like, this is not helping the MAGA allegations.
No, it's certainly not. It's certainly not painting a great picture of her personal politics, though. Yeah, as like a business person, I understand why she would like pursue trying to get them not to drop the contract.
In a business sense, though, I'm kind of like, I guess, but I'm also like, I don't know if I would sue. Like, it's such a hot topic or whatever. And like, if a company says they don't want to do anything with me because of Black Lives Matter or something like that, or because something I post, like, I get that, but I'm also just like, you're Alix Earle. You can get this money another way. And it's like, it is something about like, you're really gonna sue this I don't know, I'm just like,
that's how these people are. They're like, give me my money, you sign the deal with me, you know. It's like she probably has a team of lawyers who are like, we can go after him, we should do it. I think it's like a very like impersonal, like I think there's almost like no morality to it when they're doing it. They're just like, no, they signed the contract, we could probably get money from them, we're gonna sue them.
Yeah, but like, I guess it's the same thing with Shannon Sharp, where it's like, you know, I keep going back to that. Not that Alix Earle is alleged, like, you know,
the things that Shannon Sharp is alleged to have done.
But like, right, this girl, you know, it's like you can settle out of court for $1 million, you know, for $50 million, even though you believe it's a ripoff. But like, the brand attacks, is it gonna be worth more or less than like what you're gonna do? So I'm just like, okay, great, she got her $1 million on this, but like, this is a 0.4 MAGA allegations,
yeah,
and, you know, and also like, sure, this doesn't reflect well on like, if you're trying to sell things to people under 25 or to swaths of women, it's going to be very hard to do that. So a month after the news that Unwell was dropping Hot Mess, Earle took to Instagram to announce that her podcast was on hiatus. Quote, I have to put a pause on podcasting for now for the foreseeable future. I don't want to get into the details of it all, and I can't really get into the details right now, but I've loved it so much, and I'm really proud for what I built with the podcast, she said. In the video, she announced that she would be pivoting to vlogging for the time being. After Earle's video, speculation began amongst fans, and Cooper took to her own TikTok to say that Earle's decision to not continue podcasting was not because of Unwell. Quote, I see your comments. Alix not being able to podcast has nothing to do with our company, Unwell. I don't know why she can't / what's going on. Unwell gave her everything back and she owns her IP. So basically what Cooper's saying is like, if she's not podcasting, that's on her. That's not because we stopped her from podcasting or said that this show.
Yeah, like because sometimes people can do that. Like that happens with like really bad like contracts where it's like, oh, you actually like can't even podcast anymore. Or, like that was like a big thing when Conan O'Brien lost the Tonight Show. That like part of the contract was like he couldn't have a show. for
Yeah.
like a year. So he had to go do like a live tour because he like was not allowed to be on television. So, and I mean, like, given what's known about Cooper's history, I think it is a smart move for her to be like, we gave her all the IP. Like, I think just like reputationally, it is smart for her to do that.
Exactly. So in May 2025, Alix Earle spoke to Wall Street Journal about her departure from Unwell and bringing back Hot Mess, saying that it was, quote, behind the scenes and a little bit of a hot mess. She added, quote, we have plans to bring things back, elevate things. It might look a little different, but I'm excited to see what we do with it. Earle's father, TJ Earle, who works as her manager, refused to elaborate on the topic, saying Earle had chosen not to. So she's saying that, you know, I guess Wall Street Journal's asking her what happened with with Hot Mess, and she's like, it was a
hot mess.
And then yeah, like they didn't answer any follow-up questions, and that was in May. And then in August, Alix Earle hints at drama with Alex Cooper with this post. So we're gonna watch this post that Alex posted in August of 2025.
My co-star told me that I can start shit today. It told me. It said you can start some shit. So, I mean, co-star told me to. And like, low-key, I kind of like, I mean, is this my time that I've been waiting for to go? It's like, I have so much information. We could go. I've just been waiting for co-star to tell me to. Oh, I think I'm losing my mind. But like, I wake up every day and I'm like, what should I do, co-star? And I look there, and today, it's like, revenge. Like, let's go. Like, get him. And I'm like, but I don't know. I don't know if I should listen to Coasty, but she told me to. So.
Okay.
So in the comments, someone says, yes, tell us what happened with Alex Cooper. Thank you. And that got 65,000 likes. And then Alix Earle comments, how much time do you have?
Wow.
And that got 95,000 likes. So what are you saying?
I mean,
so
it's messy. Obviously, she didn't actually say anything. I don't know what else to. I'm like, I guess part of me is like, if you're gonna do this, then do it. If you're gonna say it, say it. Which I know is like a theme of this entire thing, but like that's kind of how I feel. Is I'm like, okay, but do the thing.
Well, in October 2025, I don't know. Sorry, before we move on, like, so Alex Cooper signed a $125 million SiriusXM deal, but I know she also signed a deal with ABC, Hulu, whatever, because I think she has TV shows. She does a lot. There's a lot of crossover with stuff, Unwell with ABC and all that stuff. So yeah, and Unwell, Hulu, ABC, they do Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Dancing with the Stars, The Bachelor, all that stuff. So there's brand integration in terms of like all the stars from the major ABC, Hulu reality shows go on and all that stuff. And then Alex Cooper also too, like any woman who's trending in news, she will be like, you know, when Huda got out of Love Island, she interviewed Huda.
Yes.
Like, blah, blah, blah. So she's really on it like that. But anyway, so in October 2025, fans think Cooper seemingly referenced Earle's TikTok comment from August in an Instagram post promoting an Unwell event in Vegas. And because the caption goes, how much time do you have? Because we could go all night, wink face emoji. And the video was set to Circus by Britney Spears, which was a song that Alix Earle had danced to the month before on Dancing with the Stars.
Okay, and this is Cooper posting a veiled post about Earle in response to Earle's veiled post about Cooper.
Yes, she was promoting an Unwell event, yeah.
Okay.
And then people think that Cooper was shading.
Got it.
Why are we talking about this now? Well, this month, people in the conversation, in the zeitgeist, people are talking about Alex Cooper. Was she right with the Sophia Franklin stuff? Is she annoying? Does she exploit people? Blah, 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 blah. And amidst all these criticism, Alix Earle reposts one of the most scathing criticisms of Alex
Got it.
Cooper. So this woman called the Bravo Mom posts this video. So let's watch it.
Honestly, compare Alex Cooper to an ambulance chaser. Like, you just had the most horrific accident of your life. You're, hanging on by a thread, don't know if you're going to make it. And she's the first one there. And she's a Grim Reaper. She wants to get the exclusive interview. She wants to be there when you're vulnerable and you're broken down and you're ready to sign over your rights to your life. Like, she's so awful. And I wish that more women, celebrities, female athletes, reality stars, anyone who's a woman on planet Earth, I wish they would stop making that their first stop after something happens in their lives, because she is profiting off of women's like heartaches and failures and all these awful things that happen to women. She's profiting off of it. That's not girl power. She totally screwed over her previous co-host, Sophia. The show has never ever been the same. It's never been as good.
I agree with some of that, and other parts I don't as much.
Yeah, I think the ambulance chasing shit is kind of like, that's fucked up. I get it, like, whatever. Because people were saying that, I guess after the Miley Cyrus reunion, people were like, why was Alex Cooper there? She wasn't necessary, blah, blah, blah. But I'm also like, they're like, she's profiting off of people. And it's like, girl, there people are profiting off of her. 350 like stream spike. Like, that's not really.
I just also think it's not crazy for someone to do an interview with somebody like amidst big public turmoil, and she's famous and has a famous platform. It's like a mutually beneficial relationship between the two of them, to be like, she has a platform people want to use to get their side of a story out, and like, she does pretty softball interviews too, in terms of stuff. So I don't know. I just don't think it's like actually that nefarious for her to interview celebrities when they're after a thing or whatever. As far as the stuff with her and her ex co-host, that's a different conversation, whatever. But like, yeah, I just don't know if I would call her an ambulance chaser like that.
It's like, oh, she's a topical interviewer. That's how, like in a way, she's the Oprah of our era. So it's be like, why is Oprah interviewing things?
Yeah.
But again, remember, Alix Earle reposted this. So Alex Cooper claps back and posts this. And the caption of this, no caption except at Alix Earle. So she's directly tagging Alix Earle and says this.
Hey guys. You guys know I don't usually address this kind of stuff because it feels like a waste of time, and honestly, it's embarrassing to participate in this. But I am obviously seeing the videos, I'm getting tagged, I see the DMs, I see the comments. So at this point, it just feels long overdue. Alix Earle, hey girl. The passive aggressive reposts and the likes and the commenting on things, I gotta call you out here. You're gonna need to get specific and just say what you gotta say about me. There's no NDA. No one is stopping you. Stop hiding behind other people and just say it yourself. What's the beef? Because I'm really tired of waking up and seeing you using this fake drama to distract from other shit going online for you. Not interested. I know what happened, and so do you. So talk. Unless the fake narrative that you're creating happens to be way more interesting than the truth. I have nothing to hide when it comes to you and me. So unless you actually have something to say, I'm out. This is over. Have a good Monday, everyone.
Well, I mean, she threw the gauntlet down. She said it.
She said it. So Earl commented on that video and said, okay, on it. But Earl did not post a response video. But this is crazy. There's this video. I mean, we don't have to watch it because there's kind of no sound. But like, it shows her, because this is all this week, right? And last week. So there's a video of her friends. They're all in a house for Coachella. And Alix Earle is sleeping. And her friends, the video is her friends waking her up, like getting her like out of bed, taking off the blankets, and pressing play on the Alex Cooper video. And so she's like waking up, like crust on her eyes. She's getting out of bed, and then they're like, "You have to see this." And she's like, "Is it funny?" And then like all this stuff, but like she hasn't said anything publicly yet.
But she's like alluded to it. This is interesting because this type of behavior, put a pin in this type of behavior for our Grasshole.
Yeah, so basically, you know, Earl hasn't said anything, but then Dave Portnoy jumped in, which he's
of course
the founder of Barstool Sports, whose company previously owned Call Her Daddy, commented on Cooper's feud in the episode of Chicks in the Office podcast. I mean, Dave Portnoy, if Lady Whistledown was a 52-year-old gambling addict with bloated alcoholism, it would be fucking like, this guy's trying to get in everybody's shit. He's fucking MAGA. And proud of it.
I mean, yeah, that's not even allegations.
That's not even allegations.
No.
He loves Donald Trump. But he also loves getting into like fights with 19 and 20-year-old women. It's like insane. So basically what he's saying is he speculated that like the beef could stem from contract stuff, and then said like Alex Cooper is a savage. And then also he kind of tapped in Brianna Chicken Fry LaFavia.
Right, I forgot that Brianna Chicken Fry is also involved.
Yeah. So then Brianna Chicken Fry post a series, you know, of DMs. I mean, we don't have to get into that. I was going to show the video, but Brianna Chicken Fry starts talking shit, and then Cooper posted a series of stories and alleged DM exchanges to her Instagram stories, alongside several statements with white text on black backgrounds, basically being like, this girl on girl shit needs to stop while Alex tries to get her story together. Let me address Brianna Chicken Fry, who's adding on top of the fake narrative and dogpile. Brianna, you're coming online saying I'm a mean girl. Yeah, because that's what like she said to Dave Portnoy. Alex Cooper's a mean girl. That I'm going to get destroyed in people's comments saying I hate Alex Cooper. Here are the facts. I have never met you in my life. The only communication we've ever had together is through DM. And then like she posts all the DMs, which is like them being nice to each other. But basically, Chicken Fry doesn't like... Chicken Fry has her own beef with Alex Cooper because she had a friend podcast host break up with this girl named Grace.
Yeah.
And the public took Grace's side, and Brianna Chicken Fry got roasted. And then after the public took Grace's side, Cooper did offer Grace a podcast. So in that way, Chicken Fry's like, you fucking fuck with my app, I don't fuck with Grace. But of course, the public was with Grace, because if you like kind of go through that thing, like Grace seems like Grace was wronged and stuff. But Brianna Chicken Fry took that as like a slight against her. And like when everyone was talking shit about Cooper and all this Alix Earle shit is happening, Brianna's like, she's a mean girl. I never fucking liked her.
So she has other reasons for not liking Cooper that are not related to this necessarily, this exact situation.
Yeah, but she's jumping on it because, you know, she doesn't like her. And then, Cooper wrote, I never invited you on Call Her Daddy. Back during the Zach Bryan situation, okay, Brianna Chicken Fry dated a country singer named Zach Bryan.
Yes,
who,
of
like,
course.
was emotionally abusive. So after the Zach Bryan situation, I sent you a message of support. Then you stopped podcasting with Plan Brie. And as we all know, Grace no longer had a show. As a business decision, Unwell then reached out and offered Grace a podcast. We never spoke negatively of you. Nothing negative happened during that time between Unwell, myself, or you. So speaking of mean girls, I've never met you in my life. What I just showed you is the only interaction we've ever had, and you hate me? Wow. Please go back and read the DMs. That has never been the nature of our relationship. Now back to Alex. And no, this is not part of a PR stunt.
Wow.
So the thing is, like, all these people are like trying to start with Cooper, but Cooper's really fucking coming correct.
It's interesting
And-
to me, like, she's not backing down, and she's
not backing
very
down.
willing to, like, put her money where her mouth is, I guess. It's interesting that, like, I feel like, well, I mean, I guess Chicken Fry kind of addressed her directly, or not even really.
Well, Alix, okay, so today Alix posted a video, but it's of her pole dancing badly, but to one of those, you know, when like a horror film will cover a song and like slow it down and
Yeah,
make it dramatic.
classic.
The classic. The caption says, "Sorry, been busy filming this."
Okay. Cool. It's her pole dancing to a poignant song. Got it.
And then somebody comments and says, "Welp, we got some tea from Marcos, which is be better." And then Alix Earle comments, "Doesn't mean it's true, heart emoji, you'll see." So basically, Alix keeps like teasing another thing. Nothing has come out. People are like, how long does it take you to start your story? That's even what Be Better said. It's
Yeah.
like either you speak the truth or not. You don't need 4 days to gather. I also understand her being like, I think it's different because people can say like, well, Sierra took 2 weeks to respond, but it's like Sierra took 2 weeks to respond to something that happened in real time.
Yeah, and it happened
This is-
to her where, like, she was very specifically had stuff to process.
Yeah, and some people speculate that like if like Alix Earle is avoiding saying shit because if she did get into the details of why she feels slighted, the public will not hold sympathy for her, you know? And talking about, you know, which is again, if you are selling things to young women, to young Gen Z women, you cannot be MAGA. Like, young Gen Z women are not MAGA.
Not by and large, no.
Not by and large, no. And like women in general in this country, like, I'm not saying there are no MAGA women, but the overwhelming majority, especially if you want outside of white women, the majority of women in this country are Democrats. So if you're going to come out and say, like, I got you and I have all these receipts, and it's like, my dad got mad at you for interviewing Kamala, it's not going to be good. So that is the Alix Earle story. At least
Yeah.
any thoughts before we move on?
I mean, I guess even though we have a side of the story that we have not officially heard yet, like in full with Alix Earle, I feel personally inclined at this moment to side with Cooper in all of it if I have to put a flag down, just because I will always respect the person who's actually going to come out and say it instead of all this weird like dancing around that Alix Earle is doing where she's like being shady in comments and being shady in reposts and liking and not liking and this and that, but she's not actually saying what's going on with her. I like, as messy as it is, I like that Alex Cooper is like, Alix Earle, say what you want to say. Brianna Chicken Fry, say what you want to say. Like, I appreciate that over what Alix Earle is doing.
And I mean, you know, whether you have valid criticisms or not of her, like, you can clearly see why she got $125 million from, I mean, you know, from Sirius XM. And it's like, this girl got the receipts, she got the business, she got like, you know, so that's why I'm like, I'm partial to, as a Fat Dominican woman, I don't think I'm gonna root for the person who's like suing a company because they're a little too woke for them, or I don't think I'm gonna go after the person whose dad yelled at a woman because they had to interview Donald Trump, like, you know. So
yeah, I mean, I just think I think that it's showing clearly that like Alex Cooper is a professional in this industry and has been for a long time, and there's a reason that she is the person that she is. And Alix Earle just seems a little bit like she's built for TikTok, and she's really, I mean, Alix Earle did a very impressive thing with her TikTok. I'm not trying to downplay that, but like Alex Cooper is a professional yapper. And there's something different to that. She sits down and does interviews with people and like asks them not tough questions, because that's not what she does. Like, she doesn't ask tough questions, but she asks like hard questions. She asks like questions about like what's going on in their life that's difficult in that sense.
She digs deep,
Yeah.
you know, but she's not going to ask a question that you're not going to approve.
Exactly.
But she will get you to talk about very dirty details.
Yeah, she'll have
about your
tough
shit.
conversations with you, tough in terms of like emotional, but not like that she's holding people to the fire. That's like not what she does. But I do think it preps her to be like, I can be in an uncomfortable conversation and say what I want to say. Whereas Alix Earle, it seems like she's more comfortable like sniping in comments and being shady and almost saying it and not. But when the other person is being as direct as Alex Cooper is being, it's a little strange to be as evasive as Alix Earle is being.
Well, there you go. So that's our main
There
discourse.
we go. And you know what? A lot of these themes are going to come up in our next segment, Grasshole of the Week. Starting something new isn't just hard, it's terrifying. So much work goes into this thing that you're not entirely sure will work out, and it can be hard to make that leap of faith. Trust me, I know. When Millie and I started this podcast, we weren't even sure what we were doing. What if no one listens? What if I make a fool of myself? Now I know that we were right in believing in ourselves and launching our podcast despite all the fears and hesitations. It also helps when you have a partner like Shopify on your side.
I thought you
to help.
meant me. Oh, you mean Shopify. Okay.
And Millie as well.
Oh, yes. Get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. Get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you and easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. Best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond.
It's time to turn those what ifs into with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/gotouchgrass. Go to shopify.com/gotouchgrass. That's shopify.com/gotouchgrass. This is our segment where we talk about the people, places, groups, whatever that need to log off the most. And I'm going to say that we're in a situation where we don't, it's very similar to everything that we just talked about because we don't 100% know which side of this story is our Grasshole. I'm going to lay everything out and we're going to see how we feel. But once again, we're in a very similar situation where one side remains to be fully heard here.
Okay.
So, Millie, have you heard of the woman whose husband left her for her daughter?
No, I have not. I mean,
Okay.
I've heard of it, but like, it's one of those things where it came up on the FYP and I'm like, I can't emotionally take this on right now.
I can't take this on.
I need to go back to like videos in China where there's like spas or something.
So I took it on.
Okay.
And this all started with a post 6 days ago by TikToker at Hope and Dimples. Her name is Melanie Culver, but Melanie is spelled Malaine, so it's like a little different than the traditional spelling of Melanie. Either way, it all started 6 days ago when she posted this TikTok. Millie, can you read the title of this TikTok?
My husband left me for my daughter, part 1.
So if you see My Husband Left Me for My Daughter, part 1, I think a lot of people are going to watch that. And they did. This has 12.1 million views.
Wow.
Can you describe Melanie, our poster here?
She has long, like, silver hair. I mean, yeah, she looks like a, you know, an older, beautiful, older woman.
Yeah, I would put her in her, like,
50s,
50s,
right?
yeah. The husband in question is quoted as being 57, and I would say maybe she's a little bit younger, so maybe like 52, 53. And she has great hair. It's gray and it looks healthy and nice. We're gonna watch like just a couple seconds of this so that you can get a vibe check on Melanie, and then I'm just going to regale you with the story because this is 4 parts. Okay, here's a little bit of her.
Story time part 1. I am going to preface this video by telling you that I'm going to reveal some embarrassing information that happened to me, and everything that I'm about to tell you is my experience. This is what happened to me. So I'm going to start at the beginning, and that's why this is going to be a long video, because this is a year that this went on.
So that's it. I just wanted to give you a vibe. Like, I feel like you have to get a sense of the person's vibe.
Well, it's like my daughter left me for my husband left me for my daughter, and the video starts with, I'm going to share some embarrassing information.
Yeah, I'm going to share some embarrassing information for sure. So, okay. What I'll say about Hope and Dimples right now and her account is that she has like 86,000 followers. So some of those I imagine are from this, because again, part 1 has 12.1 million views. Part 2 has 2.2 million views. Part 3, 1.7 million. Part 4, 1.3 million. Like, she's getting a ton of followers from this. My guess is she didn't have a huge account before this. So it's not like Risa Tisa numbers, but it is, we're respectable. This is certainly going quite viral.
I'll take that. I'll take 12 million views on a Go Touch Grass.
I'll take even the lowest one, 1.3 on part 4. Come on. I'll take that. That's good money on TikTok. I hope she's in the creator program. Anyway, I'm going to do a very, very quick version of the story that she lays out over these 4 parts. I did watch them. Okay. This is what I've got for you. So basically, she starts out by saying one night her husband rolls over in bed and says that he is extremely depressed and thinking of harming himself because of the financial stress of their relationship. And from that conversation, it turns out that he's got a bunch of credit card debt. He took a bunch of weird loans out, and unbeknownst to her, he has gotten himself into some financial trouble. At the same time, her daughter is going to appear on a home renovation show on the Magnolia Network.
Oh my God, that's Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Exactly. And she needs help getting the house ready for this show. So Melanie flies from Idaho, where she and the husband live, to Virginia to paint the daughter's house. And according to her, she paints the daughter's whole house top to bottom. During this time, she also shares with the daughter about the financial situation, and her daughter offers to have her and the husband come live with her in Virginia so that they can sell the house, get back on their feet, and then she's like, I can also get my stepdad a job at my company where she works. They move to Virginia, start the process of trying to sell the house in Idaho. After moving in, Melanie, the mother, says that she starts to notice that there's a lot of tension between her and her daughter. She's like, she was getting on me for smoking marijuana, but she also smokes marijuana, which I just think is like a funny detail. Yeah. She says that like the daughter has a lot of tension with her. The daughter's always sniping at her and like they're just, they're at odds. But that the daughter and the husband are now working together and they're getting really close. And they're starting to have weird vibes. Like at dinner, they're like talking and joking with each other. But if she tries to talk, they like give her like stank face and won't talk to her. It's like weird mean girl stuff is happening in the house. So at a certain point, she tells her husband, like, hey, I actually need you to stop talking about our marriage and me with my daughter. And he's basically like, no, I'm not going to.
Okay.
So then we get to this like weird interlude where she's going to go back to Idaho to get the house ready to be sold. But then before she goes to Idaho, she gets a prescription notification and finds out that he's got a Viagra prescription, but they're not having sex. So she's like, what's that about? And she's having weird conversations with him with that. Her and that husband end up going back to Idaho to sell the house. Things get better for a while. They do have sex. She's like, we were intimate multiple times. She's very clear about this.
Hell yeah.
But then right before they're about to sell the house, he turns to her and he's like, I actually want a divorce. And
so is breakup sex.
Exactly. Unbeknownst to her. So then she's like, she basically asks him, like, did you already tell my daughter this? Like, does my daughter know that you were going to ask me for a divorce? And it's kind of, he's like, yeah, I did. And she is obviously really pissed. And she asks him if anything happened between him and the daughter. And he says no. And it's at this point that she's like, she reveals that she does not actually have any proof that anything happened between the ex-husband and the daughter. She just really feels like it does. She feels very strongly that it does. So then she and the husband have to go back from Idaho to Virginia because they still have stuff in Virginia. That's like a big part of this story is that it's like their stuff's in Idaho, their stuff's in Virginia, their stuff's, they've got to get stuff all the time. Their stuff's moving around. So then she goes back to Virginia gets to the daughter's house. The daughter throws her out, is like, get out of here, whatever. The husband stays. She starts moving forward with the divorce. She then moves into a camper, and then she goes on a retreat, which I'm like, great. And then she's traveling more, but eventually she has to come back to Virginia one final time to get her stuff out of a storage unit that's in Virginia. The storage unit has some of her stuff. It has some of the ex-husband's stuff. She sees the storage unit. She gets pissed. Hey, she lights the storage unit on fire.
Oh, girl.
Which you can't do.
You
can't do.
Yeah.
You can't light it on fire. I get it.
I get it.
But you can't light it on
You
fire.
can't light a fire.
So this leads to her daughter and her ex-husband calling the police and her being put on a psychiatric hold. That's the end of the story. And she's basically like, my husband left me for my daughter and they tried to put me in a mental institution and had me arrested and all of this stuff. So that is her story. How do you feel about her story just on its face?
Dude, I feel bad for her, but also, yeah, you can't light it on fire. You can't light a unit on fire and then be like, they tried to get me arrested and put me in the psych ward. You put yourself in the psych ward by lighting this shit on fire.
Yeah,
Sorry,
like, babe. That's the thing is like, because she alludes to it a couple times, if I'm remembering correctly, where she's like, and they got me put in a psych ward. And it's like, well, you got yourself put in the psych ward because you lit the storage unit on fire and you just can't light the storage unit on fire. Now, the rest of what she lays out is fucked up.
Yeah.
So that's Melanie. So this starts going super viral. Obviously, people are immediately like, oh my God, that's fucked up. Then a friend of the daughter comes on and is like, hell no, Melanie's lying. So this is the friend of the daughter, Lil Low. It's at Lil Low Worldwide. She's got 236.6 thousand followers. So I think she's like, had TikTok before this. So this woman basically sees the initial part 1 of the video and she does post this. My husband left me for my daughter is a grift. And she's super serious about this. She now has a full playlist on her page called Melanie's Grift that is like her answering all questions related to this.
Oh my God.
But this is what she has to say.
TikTok drama is not fucking funny when you know the people actually involved, and I wish that y'all would realize that. That shit of that lady posting like, oh, me healing after my husband left me for my daughter, she's full of shit. I know her daughter. Her daughter's in a relationship. She did not do nothing to that fucking lady. That lady's some type of narcissist, and she's getting up here slandering somebody I know's name for shits and giggles. And what really set me, because I've been telling her daughter, don't really say shit, just let it go, let it roll off your back. But what's getting me, and the reason I'm saying something, is because she's gonna have the nerve to post her daughter's deceased grandmothers and say, I wonder what they would think of you knowing what you did, knowing you're fucking lying. Knowing you're fucking lying, meaning you don't even have enough respect for the dead to stop lying on your own child. You don't have enough respect for yourself to stop lying on your own child. And when people get in her comments and they're like, hey, you're really vague about what's happening here. You're not making any sense. You're not answering any of the questions. She just likes the comment. Then the daughter messaged someone trying to defend herself, which is why I be telling people, you ain't always got to defend yourself. And it's like, hey, I actually didn't do any of this. And I don't know why my mother, the person who fucking birthed me, is on a smear campaign. I can only believe it's for, I don't fucking know, likes and views. That's what I'm saying, that part. But she messages someone and that person's like, no, I believe her, and sent the screenshot to her mom. Her mom posts the fucking screenshot. And it's like, oh, you seem guilty because you're defending yourself. What type of fucking weirdos are on this fucking app? Y'all be making the wrong people fucking popular. If you see her video, ask her why she's fucking lying.
Okay, so now after hearing from the friend, how do you feel? After hearing from Lil Low?
I'm so confused.
Right?
I'm so confused.
Right? Because Lil Low has like conviction in her. Like I'm inclined to believe Lil Low.
I am inclined to believe Lil Low, but also she seems a little crazy too, so everyone's, I don't know.
Okay. Next up, we do hear from the daughter. So the daughter starts posting, her account is called McMath House because remember, she like does home renovation stuff. So that's like what her actual beat is and like what she does in her life. So here's the thing about McMath House that is a little Alix Earle-ish about this. So she has 81.4 thousand followers. Again, hard to know how many came before or after all of this stuff. Magnolia Network, IWTO Season 7, Episode 10. So that's, you know, it all checks out. she starts posting stuff. She has not posted her own story time rebutting what her mom said in the other TikToks. Instead, she's posted 8 different TikToks. Here's an example of one of them. It's a picture of her with her boyfriend, and it says, sometimes you have to watch your mom publicly accuse you of sleeping with her husband and go about your day. A lot of the posts are like of her being happy with her current boyfriend and basically being like, I have a boyfriend, I'm not sleeping with my stepdad, I guess, is the argument. And then other ones are like, you can see that she's kind of stitching her mom's own videos, and then she'll try to refute a claim in the video. So one of them is like her mom talking about how she painted the house, and then it's her, she'll show pictures of her still painting the house, and she's like, we didn't even paint the house that much. Or like, she'll try to poke holes in the mom's story with pictures of herself with her boyfriend, or pictures of the actual home renovation, or this, that, or the other thing. But it's all kind of not fully addressing, telling her side of the story. It's very like, much like Alix Earle, kind of.
So you think that the daughter did fuck the dad?
I don't know. I'm actually kind of feeling, I really can't tell. And so that's where I wanted to round out our Grasshole discussion, because that's where we're at. The daughter has not said anything. The mom has doubled down many, many times. The mom is like, you can believe me or not, this is the truth. We've got the friend who I feel inclined to somewhat believe. There are also other people who claim to know them that have gotten in the comments, and all of those people side with the daughter. Anyone who claims to like know the situation has come forward on the side of the daughter. I've not seen any people come forward on the side of the mom, though the mom is the only one who has fully told her story. So I guess what I wanted to round us out with is like, what is the case that the mom is Grasshole? What is the case that the daughter is Grasshole?
I mean, anybody who does like, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, don't cancel the show. We're on, don't stop telling your business on the internet. We're on season 7 of your shit. So like, you know, part of it is like, is anyone who does a multi-part story time in which they put all their business out technically a Grasshole? Maybe in the way that like maybe every K-pop stan is a Grasshole. I don't know. I don't know. Like we can, that's a more philosophical question. But I do think, yeah, like putting your personal family business, I feel like all of them need to go touch grass and meet each other. I don't know. Like, actually, go on Alex Cooper. I feel like Alex Cooper.
I think beefing with your daughter on TikTok is Grasshole behavior, even if you have a really good reason. I just feel like you can't be beefing with your own kid online. I think that's tough. Now, what I will also say to the case that the daughter is the Grasshole, it's kind of a similar feeling to the Alix Earle, which is like, say what happened then.
Yeah, you need to like have a full statement. And I think but I'm like, if my husband cheated on me with my daughter, kicked me out, and then I went to the psych ward, would I post 8 stories about it? Like maybe, I don't know. Who knows what you get pushed to. I will say without doubt, Lilo's a Grasshole. Why you have 15 fucking posts about some family business that
isn't yours? I mean, that's for sure. And then the daughter, I'm just kind of like, I guess I could understand, like, if your mom is doing this, right, and like she's actually lying on the daughter, then that's like, okay, my mom is crazy and she's probably had a lot of trauma and weird shit with this mom that she might be like, I'm not even going to get in the mud with her. But then it's also like, then don't get in the mud with her at all. You can't kind of like half do it, half not. Either I feel like a text story that's like, my mom's mentally
Not
unwell,
well.
She's saying stuff, I disavow that stuff, and then you go back to posting home reno is probably the best vibe. Trying to like be funny about it and half talk about it and half refute
like, I have a boyfriend. It's like,
so I think
that doesn't mean you didn't cheat.
Yeah, it doesn't, unfortunately. So I'm gonna say, for the crime of beefing with your daughter on TikTok, instead of going to family counseling or whatever you need to do, we're gonna tell Hope and Dimples to go touch grass. And then for the crime of not, how do we say?
Of trying to be funny
about your mom accusing you of sleeping with your stepdad instead of actually just being like, I definitely didn't sleep with my stepdad, will also say to the daughter, go touch grass. And that's our episode.
I think they maybe fucked once.
I think
Or
that
maybe-
maybe
or
something
maybe if they
happened. I
didn't
don't
fuck,
know.
I don't think maybe they didn't fuck, but it's like maybe the boundaries got crossed where she's siding with her stepdad over her mom or whatever. Who knows? But that's our episode, guys.
That's our episode.
If you like us, follow us at Go Touch Grass Pod. Everywhere. Follow me at Millie_Tamaris on Instagram and TikTok, and at Millie Tamaris on Twitter.
And follow me at Pandalise on Instagram and Elise Navidad on TikTok.
And until next time,
go touch grass.
Go Touch Grass is created and hosted by Elise Morales and Millie Tamaris.
And our theme song is by Doug Wydick. Starting something new isn't just hard, it's terrifying. So much work goes into this thing that you're not entirely sure will work out, and it can be hard to make that leap of faith. Trust me, I know. When Millie and I started this podcast, we weren't even sure what we were doing. What if no one listens? What if I make a fool of myself? Now I know that we were right in believing in ourselves and launching our podcast despite all the fears and hesitations. It also helps when you have a partner like Shopify on your side.
I thought you
to
meant
help.
me. Oh, you mean Shopify. Okay.
And Millie as well.
Oh, yes. Get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. Get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you and easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. Best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything, from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond.
It's time to turn those what ifs into with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/gotouchgrass. Go to shopify.com/gotouchgrass. That's shopify.com/gotouchgrass.